Hello everyone. So I thought of making a series on law of limitation as it is a very important subject to study and cover. As soon as you are reading CPC, you should know the law of limitation because both the acts are construed together and should be read together. As both the acts are long, limitation is a short act, but it is very typical in nature. So I am thinking of making a series for this and I will try to deliver my best and to explain you all the important terms and sections and the provisions mentioned in law of limitation. Today is the very introduction basis to explain you all the basic concepts of law of limitation, and in next class from next video onwards I will try to explain you the basic and the important provisions included in the law of limitation. So first of all, we should understand why law of limitation has to be studied. Basically, law of limitation means that till what time you can approach the court for your violation of your legal right. Basically, cause of action is an important thing which you should know before studying law of limitation. Cause of action means when you have a legal right and that legal right has been violated, then you will get a cause of action which will arise. And as soon as the cause of action arises, law of limitation starts. So limitation period will start, and till that period you can go and approach the court and seek your remedy. After that, law will not allow you and the court will dismiss your application, plea, or your petition. So law of limitation favors the defendant and it is for the defendant to prove that law of limitation period has been expired and the plaintiff has approached the court after the law of limitation period. So the law of limitation will apply in this case and the court will bar that suit. So before going on to the main provisions, you should understand what is the exceptions, exclusions, then the period of limitation, prescribed period, reckoning period. So in this video I will explain you all these concepts. So prescribed period means the period of limitation plus exclusion. So period of limitation is mentioned in the schedule, so from that period you can file the application till the period prescribed. For example, breach of contract, generally period is 3 years, so prescribed period is mentioned. Now prescribed period is more than the period which is mentioned, that is period of limitation, because after the cause of action the first day is excluded, so cause of action day is excluded. After that the reckoning period will start, so that is the prescribed period which is to be looked into account while filing the case. So prescribed period is important and not the period of limitation. You should understand this thing. What is exceptions and exclusions? Exclusion means that even after applying the exclusion you can file for the case. So exclusion will increase the prescribed period for you, and in exception, even after the prescribed period is over, still you can approach the court. That is the difference between exclusion and exception. In exclusion your days will increase, but in exception what will happen is that even after the period of limitation, prescribed period is over, still you can approach the court. So section 4 and section 5 talks about that. In section 4, when the last day of prescribed period you are approaching the court, that is fine, but on that day the court is closed. What you will do, as soon as the court reopens on the next day, you can file an application. That is called exception, which means even after the prescribed period is over, still you can approach the court for your remedy. Section 5 talks about condonation of delay. It only applies to applications and appeals because in suit already limitation period is for a long period of time. So in application and appeal, even after some time, even after the prescribed period, if you will justify the court for extending the period because of some reasonable justification, condonation of delay can be given. It is the discretion of the court. But in exclusion cases, prescribed period extends, not the case where exception we will see that even after the prescribed period you can file. So only extension of prescribed period is there in exclusion cases. Reckoning period is what? Whenever, like the day the cause of action arises, after that day the reckoning period starts from where the prescribed period is computed. So reckoning period starts on that day after the cause of action arises. So next day only the prescribed period will be computed. That is the reckoning period. So these concepts are important for you to understand the law of limitation in veracity. So I think I am able to explain you properly. So from next class, I will directly jump onto the provisions, which is very important for you all. So stay tuned with me for the next videos and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.